Welcome to the brand new review podcast where we talk about energy drinks and fucking other assorted dankage.
Bang, ghost, hook us up.
You guys try that new Bangs flavor?
Hook us up.
You guys try that new Bangs flavor?
Fucking ghost philosophy.
Dude, it's so good.
Look us up.
I scarfed down like 8 of them in a row, and I fucking beat
the dank coast to coast.
I beat Doom on the hardest difficulty right there, bro. I actually had a prescription.
Just because of that fucking bang.
I had a prescription to Adderall. I fucking told my doctor, take it back, man. Bangs.
I got bang and ghost.
Bangs is all I need.
Fucking.
Revival House Network.
All right, everybody, what's up? Another episode of Cinema Enema. This is a Zach week, so brace yourself. I don't even really know if we have much of a format anymore because we used to talk about news, but then like COVID happened, and then news just kind of halted.
Dude, fucking act more edgy, like fucking back in that 90s MTV. Fucking, that's what we were talking about before we fucking started this. Mac used to have a VHS tape of him. He recorded the Hanson brothers. They were like, oh, guys, what do you think? You're going to do the world premiere of your new fucking music video. Weird. And fucking the guy directing, he said, make sure when you said weird, you go, weird. And fucking that's what they do. It's so funny to watch. It's so funny.
Hey guys, Mac here too, by the way. So, Cinema Enema, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, we got Mac on board today. We didn't introduce anybody yet, but everybody was doing that in the 90s, and it reminded me of Good Burger Kel Mitchell, where they use like a lot of mannerisms.
Hell yeah.
Like, can I take your order? Like, you know, he used a lot of hands. Anyway,
so good.
We typically talk about news. Hasn't been a lot of news in the last couple of years. It's been real lame. So we'll just shoot the shit for the first part of the show, talk about what we've been watching. If there's anything newsworthy you guys want to talk about, we can. And then we're going to talk about the central topic of the episode, which is a movie Zach made me watch, starring that fucker from Batman v Superman, Lex Luthor. Anyway, all right. So
this is a movie that, look, I watched this movie like a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, fucking, that is one of those movies that's like fucking open interpretation. Fucking, you could either love it or hate it. Fucking. And I was just like, fucking, I told them on a stream, I was like, you guys should watch the movie. Let me know what you think. And then fucking, like, we're doing it now. It's a very Chad.
And we'll get to that in the back half. But is there anything newsworthy to talk about? Anything?
Fucking,
what's happening in the world of movies?
The Batman's going to cost more money. So cool.
Why is it going to cost? Oh, you mean for theatrical?
Yeah, what you were talking about.
Yeah, that was on a stream. So yeah, the AMC thing, and I'm sure if it proves profitable, everybody else will follow all the other chains. But AMC decided they're going to start charging premium amounts for what they deem the premium movies, which is basically all movies in theaters these days. Like, they don't, like, what is not a premium movie in a movie theater?
It's gonna be all the DC, all the Marvel. It's basically gonna be that shit. But they ultimately can say all.
But that's all it is. If you look at the slates, you know, it's nothing but it's something owned by Disney, Star Wars, Marvel properties, Pixar. In the case of Batman, it's Warner Brothers, but it's all tentpole projects. So I don't know how they're going to differentiate that stuff, but
tentpole,
yeah, anyway.
Swing.
Yeah, exactly. But I did see the Batman though, and I'll talk about that when we chat about the stuff we've been watching. But I think that's bullshit. I think the inflation shit is stupid. They're trying to argue that, but you know, sport events do it. Concerts do it.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It feeds into our movie, like fucking the housing, fucking shit. Like, we can't afford shit. Fucking inflation. It's so cool. Fucking check out. It never ceases to amaze me how funny I look with this on over the earphones. Amazing.
You look like Ginger Dead Man.
I do. Fucking.
That's what you look like.
It's fucking. I look like a sucker. Fucking. How many licks does it take to get the cylinder pussy pop?
The what?
Pussy pop?
What did he say?
I fucking slur my words. Go ahead, though.
Anyway.
Nothing weird's happening.
That's what I want to know.
Anyway, the difference is with a concert and things like that, or a sporting. I mean, in a movie theater, it doesn't matter where you're sitting. You have an equally good viewing angle as anybody else. It's not like when you go to a concert, you might be obstructed in your view, right? Like it literally makes a difference how you can see the show or the stage depending on where you're sitting. But a movie theater, it's a giant ass screen. The room's only so big and they want to charge you. I don't know what they're going to deem to be the best seats in the house because isn't that in itself subjective? Aren't there actually weirdos that like sitting kind of up close? To me, that's the worst.
I used
seats,
to be
right?
that person. I used to be that kid.
Yeah.
I want to go to the very front and look up. And I'm like, why do I want to do that?
Yeah, it's terrible. And your dad was probably like, fuck this kid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn it, no.
No, they let me. It was when I was by myself, when I could go by myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but even like back when it used to be first come, first serve seating 10 years ago, those were, if you showed up even 5 minutes before a movie was about to start and it was a big fucking movie.
Right,
you have to sit in the front.
You get the shit seats.
It sucked, man. I saw quite a few movies like that looking fucking straight up. But anyway, so I always think the stuff in the back is the best. I think they're as long as you're not right up front, they're all pretty good. Like what are they really gonna like? The middle's fine now, especially the way now it's not even crammed together. Now like all the AMCs have reclining seats and everybody's got their own segregated row with like a wall behind them. So every row, if you're not in the front, that is, feels kind of like the back row. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know. Maybe they're going to charge based off being in the middle, as if most people give a shit about that. I can deal. I mean, the middle's cool, but it's really not that big of a thing. But
I know this kid named Malcolm. He's all excited about being in the middle, baby.
I used to like sitting in the very back too, and now like I don't like doing that unless I have my glasses on. Because I'm blind as fuck. So
you know what?
Really,
that brings it in. It brings it into perspective again because this movie is about the fucking housing shit, fucking all that fucking shit you're scared of. Like fucking, will I ever be able to do this shit? Fucking, am I just accumulating debt, digging a hole, if you will? It's almost like they could make a movie and then put a guy digging a hole outside. He keeps digging. He doesn't know why.
He's jumping the gun here. Why are we talking about the movie? You're talking about plot points in the movie.
But like, what was I saying? What was I? What were you guys just saying?
We were talking about movie theaters, and then you started getting into the fucking plot of the movie.
Oh, he's talking about how expensive it is and how that it's like that in this movie that we're about to do.
Yeah. Anyway, so. That's really all I have for news. And honestly, I'm looking forward to talking about shit I watched. I don't have that much. Usually I have a ton of stuff, but it's a pretty light month for me, but that works out. Mac, what have you been watching if you have your list pulled up? Or
Game of Thrones. I'm on season 4 now. Let's see here. The Vivarium movie. I actually watched that like Vivarium.
Why you didn't bring it up? Why didn't you bring it up? I watched the movie we're doing for tonight.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
I'm saying spoil. Like I watched it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like
don't spoil your thoughts yet. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not going to talk about it. I wanted to see the Batman. I haven't gotten to that yet. But other than that, it's been Game of Thrones and fucking. I think that's about it.
Game of Thrones.
Been trying to catch up on that.
We need a whole fucking Game of Thrones spinoff about guys shooting their cane.
Haven't really been watching anything. I've been stuck on Elden Ring, so
yeah, I think
taking my life away.
I think that's why my list isn't so big this month because I was in a video game mood and I watched a couple of shows. We watched that Pam and Tommy, that exploitation piece on Hulu about their whole sex tape thing.
See, I saw the trailer for that and I was like, fucking, that looks like shit. There's no way that's good. I kind of want to watch it. But then it's just like, fuck, I don't want to watch it.
It's entertaining. But you could totally tell it's a total snuff piece. Like, you know, because Pam...
My friend told me to watch that. He said it's actually pretty funny.
It is. It's funny. But just accept it for what it is. Like, you know for a fact it's a one-sided thing. Like, because Pamela Anderson is now going to come out with a Netflix documentary that tells the truth.
I like spoiler alert, but doesn't like the penis talk in this or something?
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. And the actors they're nailing the roles, man. And that one chick doesn't even look like herself. I can't think. Was she in like Bridgerton or Downton Abbey? I don't remember. She's like a British actress, but you know her if you see her, and she looks like one way. And then in this, she like totally looks like Pamela Anderson, and she's nailed it. And she gets fucking naked, man. You see some tits. It's really cool.
That's like that happened in the news too. Fucking they're making a new Madonna movie, and then fucking the Hollywood actress needs to go through a boot camp. And it's just like, I don't even fucking, somebody on Twitter said, and it's fucking true. It's like, I don't even need a fucking Madonna movie. I want to see a documentary about that fucking Madonna boot camp. That would be fucking stellar.
Madonna's probably like, why don't you cast me? These are fucking old.
She's amazing.
Those, ever since the damn Queen movie, those biopics, musician biopics, have been hot to trot. So they came out with the Elton John one, and it didn't do as well as the Queen one, but I think it was well received. I liked it. It was. Did you guys see that, the Rocket Man movie?
No.
It was fine.
Yeah,
I think I gave both of those like a 5 out of 10.
No. I mean, they're enjoyable. They're probably 7s. I mean, you don't take them serious. I don't.
So low key, no. So
the Queen one. The Queen one is very sugar coated, and it's just you just got to take it as a movie. Like, is it fine? Yeah, it's like a 7. And I'm probably biased just because you like the soundtrack, and I enjoy the music and the presentation.
That's all they're banking on.
But the Elton John one was fun too. But they have an Elvis one coming out with Tom Hanks playing the guy that discovered him.
Okay, are they going to tell the true story? Are they going to tell all these boomers that your favorite fucking person is a fucking pedophile? Every boomer's favorite pedophile.
Just like they fucking cleaned up the Straight Outta Compton movie. And
wait, isn't Daniel Clifton or whatever, or what's his name, Harry Potter
playing Elvis?
No.
He's not playing. He's playing Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, he's doing a Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah. That's hilarious. That's what I was thinking.
That's going to be a total streaming movie. I gotta see that. That's going to be a total streamer. That's not going to be a theatrical.
Where do they think that he looks like him?
Literally, what if Daniel Radcliffe, we watched the movie, and he literally
pulls it off?
He literally is fucking Weird Al Yankovic. We watched the movie, we're just like, I thought that was a docu-fucking-mentary, dude. I'm sitting here like blowing my fucking mind.
And
he just pulls it out of nowhere, fucking...
It's been on and off again for, I swear, like fucking 15 years, but they finally greenlit a Ozzy Osbourne biopic. But now
they should
it's
just
like,
use him because it would be great.
Yeah, just
you know what I'd rather have?
Yeah.
I literally don't want a fucking biopic. Just give me like a fucking 9-part fucking docu-series where all the real people are telling the story. That's what I like now.
We need a Dennis Rodman one.
Well, there's a lot of great just music biographies, documentaries that have come out in the last 15 years. The Alice Cooper one's great. The Lemmy one's great. The Rush one's great. Like real high profile ones.
We should have done the fucking Meatloaf VH1 straight to TV movie.
Yeah, and you know what? I remember watching that when it came out, like in the late 90s, and I watched it. It's on YouTube. You can just watch it for free on YouTube. I remember watching it like last year, and I'm like, oh, this really isn't very good. Like, it's what you think would be an H.
I've seen it like 3 times. And I'm like, it's not bad. It's not.
But yet the fucking Elton John movie's a 5. No, the Meatloaf movie. The Meatloaf movie is. It's just it's so made for TV.
I always found Jim Steinman super interesting. He hardly ever did interviews. Fucking to me, he's like fucking. I would consider Jim Steinman better than Elton John.
But the movie, well, Jim Steinman is Bernie Taupin to Elton John.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's so funny.
That's what you mean.
Because fucking our boy Elton John, he couldn't write songs. He could just sing it. Our boy Danny Stein, he could write songs, not sing.
But it's not true though. Elton John writes all the music, and Bernie Taupin wrote all the lyrics. That's what it is. So Bernie Taupin would just write lyrics with no music, and then Elton John would read his lyrics because he would write them more like poetry, and he would write the music around the lyrics. So it was a little bit more of a collaborative effort, 50-50, whereas Meatloaf was just a big fat guy who did theater.
He was basically the guy drawing it, and then fucking the other guy was the guy who fucking he inks it. He traced it. You're a tracer, man. You're a tracer.
I am not.
Jim Steinman's a much wackier songwriter. Like some of the songs that have been huge hits are just so weird and shit.
He's
that's like
a wacky guy. He's wacky. Dude.
Yeah, he looks weird. He looks like he jumped out of like a Lemony Snicket's book or something. He looks goofy as fuck. He looks like he jumped out of Hogwarts or something. But
he's big Chad, big.
But isn't like Total Eclipse from the Heart literally about vampires? Probably some Anne Rice.
Like that.
And then he writes shit based off books and fantasy, and he gets Celine Dion to sing them, and it's really weird. But
amazing.
Bernie Taupin has definitely written more hits and probably bigger hits, but
no one cares about fucking hits. That's pop bullshit, Aaron. No one cares.
I love
Elton
John.
Hero.
I love Elton John.
I like Elton John too. I'm just being. I like Little John. I like Little John better than Elton. Personally,
Little Elton John. Yeah, we could. Well, I mean, if you were to stack up their catalogs and just actually stack up songs versus songs, Elton John is way more It just doesn't even compare.
If we ever get Elton John on the fucking Sir Elton John, I really am a big fan
boys.
of your brother Lil. I'm a big fan of your brother Lil.
No, Elton John. Wouldn't that blow people's minds if we just brought in our buddy Elton right now on the stream and he just showed up? Like, oh, hey.
And he just go, here tonight. Oh, he comes in. Fucking like that episode of South Park. They're like, ladies and gentlemen, Elton John. He just comes out of nowhere. You remember that?
Yeah. Well,
they're trying to get the pig in the...
He's like, I'm a big fan of you boys, and I'm a big fan of Mac when he was sucking that dick on that one episode. That ball, that fucking little squid. That squishy shit you're squishing.
The Nido. I don't know if his is different.
Nido.
Dude,
I can't get mine like elongated like he did.
Elton John.
What?
He can't get it to be as elastic as you to make a big nut.
It's the same thing. I just pull it apart. I just stretch it with my strength.
Dude, that would be the biggest video on YouTube of all time if we got Elton John on here and he pulls out his Nido and starts filleting it. Be great.
I would come. I would fucking so come.
The keto Nido.
Like this. That's me coming. That's me coming. Oh.
All right. So there we go. We got to talk about biopics and Elton John and fucking shit for a minute. So let's talk about movies we've been watching. Zach, do you have your list out?
We actually already were. I think so.
Is that what we did? But then we went back into fucking news.
You asked me what we were watching.
My bad. Well, then we got derailed on like biopics and shit. And I thought that
I started watching on HBO.
Weird Al Yankovic.
HBO Max. I started watching that show that was on comedies or it was Cartoon Network. Growing up, home movies. I don't know if that was pre-Adult Swim.
Oh yeah.
Or it might have been right around the time.
I remember that. Yeah.
I never got into it, but like I had multiple people tell me like, you would love that. Fucking the kid's just like you, fucking always filming shit with a video camera, wants to be a director. And it's fucking like, I never gave it a chance because I think the animation style just turned me off. Like the weird squiggly lines, it's really weird. Yeah. Fucking the animation. I'm still not a big fan of the animation style, but I've been getting into the show. I got through the first season. Fucking, I like it. I like it.
Well, that's a big thing. There's a lot of those shows that I think, the animation style would turn you off, but it's more geared for adults. Like, I never used to want to watch Dr. Katz. Remember that? But I bet you if I watch Dr. Katz now, there might be a higher chance that I appreciate it and like it. Stuff like that.
Yeah. But I finally watched that show you guys told me about. Fucking Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson.
What do you think of it,
Chad? Fucking, it's funny. It's good times. It's good times.
He's super fucking...
He's super based and compelled.
Sarcastic.
He's super based and compelled. So basically a sketch comedy show, so it's hard to talk about all the show. But like fucking... And comedy is so subjective, but like fucking...
The hot dog one?
I didn't realize it, but like it started me off with season 2 first, so I was watching that thing and it was the first couple of episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And so...
it sucks.
I like the one where they put him in the suit. Like fucking like the whole time it was. You remember there was this show? I was thinking about this the other day. You can never do this today. It was like in like 2002 maybe. There was a show on Fox, and it was like fucking what are these? It was like a reality show, and it was like what is it like for a black person growing up? And they took a white family and painted them black and put them in there, and did the opposite to the other. And people were like making a big deal about it at the time. And I remember like. They were like, there's the controversy. We don't know if the episode will ever air and shit like that. And I was like, I gotta fucking see this. This is like White Chicks, like that movie. It wasn't even out yet, but like fucking, and then it was all good. It was all good. Where was I? What were we talking about?
I Think You Should Leave.
I Think You Should Leave. It is a good show. Fucking, I like the one. Fucking, I like the one where they're in the fucking. He's going there doing the tour, and he's like, fucking,
oh yeah, the ghost tour. That's what we were telling you to watch.
The language.
They're like, oh, we can all fucking talk about whatever. There's no kids around. We can cuss, and he's like, well,
horsecock, like, or cum, or jizz.
Yeah, cum.
Amazing.
Yeah, it has the cum fucking humor like you like.
I think it really is.
I figured you would be all over that.
And I think you watched it out of sequence, but the first episode of the first season sets up the series very well. It's the diner, the interview, and the opening the door the wrong way. He doesn't want to look like an idiot in front of the guy.
Oh, yeah, and he fucking just... No, it works that way, too. I did it. I've done it. And then he fucking just breaks the shit out of it.
Did you see that one, Zach?
I did. I watched all of them.
It's so funny, but it kicks it off great. I need to finish it because I haven't watched all of them.
Beta.
All right, keep going.
Okay, see, now I'm telling you to hurry the fuck
Yeah.
up and watch that show.
Well, I might watch it tonight because I kind of forgot about it.
Fucking, I watched Dexter, the new season.
People hate it. I thought.
I don't know why.
I
People hate
didn't- I haven't really finished it. I didn't know how I felt about it.
People are saying, like, fucking, they're watching this, and they're like, fucking, they watched the original. People hated the original ending. They were like, fucking, and
It's
the thing
horrible.
is, fucking, I don't hate the original ending. Like,
It's
fucking,
not- I don't like it. There's too many things going on.
fucking, spoiler alert. Let's just fucking, like, if you haven't seen it, fucking, I'm just gonna spoil. Like, basically, to me, we're gonna
You
think,
might
we're gonna
piss
assume
people off.
he.
Maybe, but people might be watching it. It's pretty new. You sure you want to spoil
Fuck,
it?
whatever. Fucking, fuck them. I won't do it. Fuck, never mind. No spoiler. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. I thought fucking,
Okay.
I thought the original was fine, and the new one, I think it's fine. Fucking, it's fine.
I don't know.
I enjoy-
Something about that fucking deer in that kind of show just fucking
There's
turns me
fucking
off.
CGI deer in it. The CGI deer in it's fucking
It
garbage.
just turns me off. It turns me off big time.
Exactly. And that's cringe. But fucking I let it slide. I watched fucking the first half of the newest season of Ozark. I always want to call it Ozarks, and we probably can't talk about that either. I watched that documentary, Britney versus Spears. Fucking, I was all excited. Like, fucking, I've heard so much about this. It's like, fucking, this is gonna fucking dank me to dust, basically. You're gonna be watching that shit, like, fucking 8 hours, like, watching this true crime shit. And it's just a fucking one movie. It's an hour and 33 minutes. You never even talk to Britney in it. Like, you think you would, she's the first person you would talk to.
Leave Brittany alone.
And it was just like, fucking, I didn't like it. Fucking not worth watching.
I mean, it just
You-
means
why don't you
it
go
just
ahead,
means
Mel?
it's unauthorized, and it's like a Leaving Neverland type of thing where, it's one sided.
Low T shit.
Was that your whole list?
Fucking, I said you could go, but I watched. We need to talk about Cosby, that docuseries. I enjoyed it.
Oh, where is that streaming? Because I'd like to see it.
It's on Showtime. Because I got that, and I watched fucking that and the Yellow Jackets. Because everybody was talking about the Yellow Jackets TV series. Fucking the horror community was seeming to like it. Fucking normies are seeming to like it. I watched it. It's pretty entertaining. Fucking it's got fucking the chick from Dusk Till Dawn that plays the daughter.
Selma Hayek
From
What?
Dake
Oh,
till
Dust-
Dust.
Wait. Oh,
Plays the daughter.
she was in Juliette Lewis.
Exactly. She's
Yeah.
in there. Fucking. And then the two timelines going on about fucking when they were kids, when they were adults, kind of like it.
Mm.
And it's just like fucking, it kind of, the story plays out like fucking Twin Peaks. Like, it seems like they don't know where they're going. We're going to see over the course if this keeps getting picked up. But there's a, beep. Just check it out if it sounds interesting to you.
I got a question. You mentioned Twin Peaks. That's a show I've never actually really watched. I've started it a couple of times. Does it get better or something? Because I can never really keep watching it past the first episode. Or maybe I think just the first episode. I don't know if I've made it much past farther. But
I watched the whole first season and I thought, this is okay. But like, I didn't get what everybody loved about it. Fucking, I thought maybe it's worth revisiting on some ice cream. That's the perfect thing for that, I think.
yeah, but I feel like it's a shame that I haven't watched it yet. But I feel like there's got to be something I'm missing, and I just going to stick it out and just push through it. But anyway, digress. Go ahead.
I watched the new season of Euphoria. Fucking the show that's like fucking, it's like it's shot on film, so it looks more kino and more fucking cinematic than 90% of the shit that comes out today. But it's like at least 80% fucking smut, Jerry Springer style trash TV, and it's kind of great for that. It's
My
entertaining.
girlfriend finished that season today. I watched a few episodes of the first season. It's not for me. I'm like, so that's my time to come play video games, and she doesn't complain about it because she's got a show to watch. Which is very important to have those. It's important to have those shows that you don't watch together so you can do other shit. But yeah, it's not my thing, man. But I did read that it's the second most successful show behind Game of Thrones on HBO, which blows me away because Sopranos was massive. I would think that is part of the high bar, but I don't know. I don't get it. I watched a few episodes of it, handful of episodes maybe, and I can't relate to it. It's talking about all these teenagers with modern day teenager problems. Like, I didn't go to school with a bunch of transgenders whose my friends' fathers were fucking, and there's all this dick pic sharing, and
I didn't think I
stuff.
identify with that. I watch movies to see through the eyes of people I don't, and I have no idea.
I just didn't get
how
it.
they
It was
live.
just-
Why do you do? Why do you watch films, Aaron?
I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. I'm like, it's too much for me. I'm like, this is just all right. They throw everything in the kitchen sink, with that show, but I'm not judging it fairly because I didn't sit and watch it. But
it's literally got a fucking from one of the greatest bands ever created, The Locust. As you guys have all known, one of the greatest bands of all time. Fucking the bass player looks just like one of the actors on that show. It's a Justin Pearson lookalike.
Is it really a good show, or is it just that you like Zendaya so much, or is it really a good show outside of like looking at her?
It's fucking. It's kind of like fucking exploitation. It's all over the place. It's fucking artsy. It's fucking like there's a super artsy episode that was like the next to last one, and then I found out A24 produces it, so it was like,
yeah,
oh, that makes sense.
I saw that. Well, and she doesn't even look good in that show. Every time I think I've seen her, she looks all drugged up and tired and pretty beat, right?
Not an ounce of makeup. Fucking exactly. Fucking. They want her to look like a real person. Very Stacey.
Real people today wear too much makeup. What are you talking about? They walk around with Snapchat filters in their face.
Exactly. Her character doesn't. Her character does not.
Okay, well,
I got a big pimple.
You've been watching a lot of series. Does that end your list?
Fucking, I did watch. I started the Hunter x Hunter. Started watching fucking anime. Fucking, and I'm really enjoying it. Fucking, I was enjoying it. It's about fucking. It has nothing to do with being straight edge, but like fucking. Yeah, it's a kid. He wants to be like his dad, who just left one day. And he became a hunter. And he just abandoned him. And he's like, I want to be a hunter too. Find out why dad left. He meets all these characters. They're fucking all these different characters. They fucking interweave. People go on their own way. They go over here, and then later on they come back and they reconvene and they talk about the shit that happened. From what I understand, it's how all animes kind of work, but like fucking I'm enjoying it. But the latest episode I watched, something really cringe happened. There's this character who's like kind of this big baddie who the main character's been like working his way up the ranks to fight. He's gone through all these trials, and now he's getting his fight on with this guy. And fucking there's a scene because the main character is like 8 years old. And he's like a little kid. He looks up at him and he starts twitching because they're getting ready to fight. They just had like one fight, and fucking like he got his ass kicked. So like he's still standing strong. He looks over at him, and this fucking this clown looking dude, he's got like fucking shit. I don't think he's a clown, but he's got like fucking shit on his face. It looks like a clown, but he just got really pale skin, baby. I think he's just pale complected, and it looks like whiteface. But like yeah, he just looks at him and he goes, Oh, stop looking at me like that. It turns me on. It's just like, and it gets all fucking like, what?
That sounds very Japanese, yeah.
It's very like lost.
Max on mute having a conversation. What do you think Max saying right now?
Trying to get his fuck on. He's trying to get his fuck on with some they them pussy.
Let's dub his voice. Yeah, I'm totally down to suck a dick tonight.
Oh yeah. What you been watching, baby?
So I guess I'll go. Well, where is the Hunter thing streaming? Because maybe I'll tell the.
It's on HBO Max, baby.
Okay, is it an original for HBO or?
Nope, it came out in like fucking. It started in like 90 something, I think, and it aired here in like 2005.
Okay, maybe I'll have to tell the lady about it. Maybe if it's. Because she's all obsessed with that shit. And I might like it too, I guess, if you do. Yeah, I'll go into my list.
You want to see that rapist clown. It's like, that sounds like a weird fucking anime.
They're weird, man. They're very perverted. They're very silly. And it's weird because a lot of times they can be very perverted and sexual, but it's like they get a pass or something. They're being cheeky because they're so lighthearted in the approach and the way they do it. Like, oh, well, they're not acting like it's that big of a deal, so maybe it's not that they just did that. But
amazing.
Like literally, she watches this one where the main character has the body of a child. He never grows up, so he's technically really old, a few hundred years old, but he's like a 10-year-old boy. And like everybody loves him, and all these women that are in his life and in his like crew, whatever, are like all each in love with him, and they're fully developed big titty bitches, man. And it's a little boy, and then the little boy, he's also a pervert, and they still love him. Like he'll sit there and like cop a feel, grab titties and shit like that, and do kinds of and do really perverse shit. And it's just weird because like, are they passing it off because it's all lighthearted and they always show him with silly faces and we're laughing and but he's really like 300 years old. Never mind that he's an 8-year-old body. It's really weird, but anyway,
there's something really satisfying about watching myself do this.
Okay, so I'm pretty confident this is where I left off. I might have talked about these on another show, so I'll just gloss over them real quick. Watched that Wes Craven movie Cursed while I had COVID. It was not good. It also stars the same wiener that is in the movie that we're talking about later. It was not
terrific.
Yeah, not good.
Terrific actor.
4 out of 10 maybe. I watched Communion, the fucking movie with
that Cursed is widely highly regarded for one, but it's widely known that like fucking the Wes Craven cut was never released and they had him reshoot everything. Fucking I remember being in the theater like at least a year or two before the movie finally came out, and they started promoting it, and it was like fucking, oh, Wes Craven's coming back, okay, and then like fucking, you never heard anything about it, and then like obviously they reshot stuff, and then they start talking about it again. Like they've done that a couple of times throughout my life. We're always weird when it happens. Sometimes they just prolong a release because something crazy happens in the news or something too.
I wonder if people who are watching on YouTube are highly entertained at Mac's like intense conversation he's having. No,
I'm trying to be all visually stunning too and creative.
Yeah. Okay. So Mac's back.
I had to take a phone call.
That's fine, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was talking about Wes Craven's Cursed and how that's a shit movie. You didn't like it, and what a total waste of Rick Baker.
Scream Factory is putting out the Blu-ray. We have no word on whether or not it's the original cut. Who knows?
It won't be. It won't be. It'll just,
yeah.
But yeah, it's like they hire Rick Baker, which makes me wonder because it ends up looking like a PS2 game. It's like, why'd you guys hire Rick Baker if it's a big CGI fest? Is it like a Thing prequel situation, I wonder, where he did a lot more and they're like, nah, that's not what kids want to see. We got to have PlayStation 2 werewolves and stuff. It has to be. I watched Communion with Christopher Walken. I spoke on this a little bit during some streams. It's a total mindfuck of a movie. It's got Christopher Walken ad-libbing every scene he's in. He did, and it's true. He did not even want to see a script. He didn't read a script, and he fucking dances with aliens that look like Al Bundy underwear aliens. It's weird. It's a fucking weird movie, and I kind of loved it. And it's one of those things where if you look at it, people either love it or they fucking hate it. And I had to scratch my head for a moment, but I think I kind of love it.
Nice.
But it's bananas. You should watch it. I think it's on Tubi. And I watched. I mentioned it, Jackass Forever. I saw that in theaters. That was an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I saw the worst movie of all time, possibly, Pauly Shore in Opposite Day. The worst fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. And
what is the plot synopsis of this terrific film? Because I haven't seen it. I've never heard of it.
Essentially, it's Opposite Day. All the kids take on the roles of the adults and the parents, and all the adults and the parents take on the roles of kids. But they're not actually like Freaky Friday. It's not body swaps. They're still the parents and the kids. It's just like the parents become mentally retarded and like, and Pauly Shore is one of the parents. They're like building forts in the house, and it's stupid. It's really bad. Pauly Shore is in the movie about 5 minutes, spread out throughout the whole movie, and it's really bad.
Max got some fucking dank ass bisexual lighting going on. It's working on his face.
What?
It's the Euphoria lighting.
It used to be called gamer lighting. Now it's called bisexual lighting, and I kind of like bisexual.
I've never heard that. Why is it called bisexual lighting?
Probably just amongst the crowd. Amongst the crowd I hang out in. Big chads that make cum jokes.
They call it bisexual lighting now. Oh, the two guys I talked to in some forum on fucking 4chan.
Maybe.
Anyway, I watched a movie my mom used to watch all the fucking time when I was a kid. Like, it was on TV in the house all the time, but I never actually sat and watched it because I'm like, gross, why would I watch this? But I finally watched Officer and a Gentleman, and it was a 6 out of 10. I'm like, okay, all right, got it. Like, there's the scene that everybody spoofs and quotes. There's that scene. I watched, let me see here.
I did watch the newest season of Cobra Kai, so I'm all caught up on that too. If you guys ever want.
Yeah. What'd you
Hell
think of
yeah.
that last episode? Hey, the cliffhanger was cool.
Yep.
That fucker Silverman, Terry Silverman, he fucking fucked over his buddy. Spoiler alert, sorry.
It fucking it gets you excited to watch it another season.
Yeah, they do a good job with that. I this is a movie I wanted to watch, but I can't find it anywhere. Don't you love that? When it's I'd heard things about Soul Survivor, so I wanted to watch Soul Survivor from '84, the one of the Night of the Comet, that guy, his movie. I've heard good things about it.
I love Night of the Comet.
But I heard good things about this one, and then when I look up the reviews on it, they're pretty dang high.
What is it called?
Soul Survivor. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to check this out. And it's not available for rent anywhere, and it's not streaming anywhere.
Is that
you
the
can't
one
buy it.
with Aunt Becky in it and like Rob Lowe or something?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know because I can't watch the movie. Let me see. I doubt it does. No, definitely not. There's a lot of movies called Soul Survivor. So this one says, Denise Watson is a TV station worker who is the only survivor of an unexplained airplane crash, which she's completely unharmed. And that's just the start of it. So I don't know, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh, you're talking about Soul Survivors.
No, Soul Survivor.
I know.
Yeah, anyway. Maybe hopefully I could track it down. Of course, we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that Netflix one. We all talked about that ad nauseum. It's trash.
So good.
I rewatched Freddy Got Fingered, and I've grown an appreciation for it.
It's an amazing film.
I really grew an appreciation for it. I'm like, this is so stupid and so dumb and so heinously bad that you realize it's got to be, it's intentional.
He made like his fucking Plan 9.
You know what I mean? And it's almost to be respected. And after watching it again, and at the end of it, I'm like, I was in the middle of it. I'm like, am I actually starting to understand this? Am I actually starting to get on Tom Green's wavelength? And I felt like I needed to take up drinking, but I appreciate it. And you know what? It's like the movie's bad, but it's intentionally bad. But you know what? Do I laugh? You laugh the whole damn movie. It's nonsensical. It's all over the fucking place. But you can actually
start yelling at the other beaver. You start yelling at the other beaver.
But you can actually argue. You can actually argue that no, it really does have a flowing plot. It does. Like he has a goal. He sets out to it, and he kind of completes it. I mean, it moves.
It is. I enjoy it. It's stupid. It's stupid as fuck.
It's so stupid. I watched.
This reminds me of whenever fucking Zach does that at the end of the fucking Son-in-Law.
Yeah. I watched The Green Knight. We talked about that on a stream. That was really good and interesting. I think it's worth everybody watching. It's the guy that directed the movie that I really fucking hated, Ghost Story. I hated that one. Did not like it. But this one is much different. I
didn't hate Ghost Story, but it was just like fucking, I didn't like it.
Yeah, so The Green Knight's really good. If anything, it's just a feast for the eyes. It's really, really something to look at. And it's really, really pretty. Really, really well shot. And then I watched, of course, the movie we're about to watch today. I watched the Brandon Cronenberg movie Possessor. I know we spoke about that on our last stream, that I was going to check it out. I think it's possible I was not in the right mindset to watch it. Maybe. Because, like, you ever feel like giving the movie a benefit of doubt like that after you watched it and you go to rate it and people are just speaking about it differently than you saw it? Like, did I watch the same movie? And it makes you like, was I missing something? I watched it after midnight, so I was tired, but I just could not stay engaged in it. I mean, I got the movie. It's fairly simple. It's about this woman that is essentially a hitman. And in the future, I'm assuming it's the future, they have this technology where they put her under and she possesses the body of somebody. And then through that vessel, she does the hit. She assassinates somebody, and then she convinces that person to kill themselves before they pull her back out into her body. And that's the setup. And then she does another job, and this particular guy that she possesses, he kind of fights it. Like it's almost like his personality is fighting it, and it's not. She's lost control of the vessel, and that's basically it. The setup's cool. The idea is cool. I just think it was maybe it was too slow. Like it's a really slow movie. Like it's slow, and maybe it was because it was like 12:30 when I started it, and I'm watching this slow ass movie, and I just wasn't into it. I think it's like I honestly wanted to give it a 4 out of 10, but then I'm like after I'm like I'll give it a 5 because visually it's cool. It's got a lot of violence and gore, which he clearly is taken after his dad. It's in those spots it really feels like his dad. But I don't know, man. Riverman loved it. Riverman gave it like fucking high marks, but everybody else did too. Mac, did you ever see Possessor?
Who was in that one?
Nobody you know. Actually, Jennifer Jason Leigh is in it, but nobody else you know.
I seen it a couple times, but I never watched it.
I want the Leslie Nielsen and fucking Linda Blair acted a repossessor.
Yeah, it's got a really alluring cover, but if you don't know much about the movie and you see a movie called Possessor and you see that cover where it's like that creepy face and shit, almost looks like a mask, you're like, what the fuck is this? And it's nothing what I would have guessed it was. Nothing. Isn't
that weird that they're making the official version of the movie that they parodied second? I'm just joking because that originally they were parodying fucking Exorcist. We all see this is all Kino humor. People know this.
Last night I watched another terrible movie. I don't give 1 stars out too often, but this movie got a 1 out of 10. Not 1 star, 1 out of 10. Lawnmower Man 2: Beyond Cyberspace. I had to watch it. I knew it was going to be bad, but I had to watch it because it was one of those flicks where I've seen the damn trailer for it so much in my lifetime because it was on the previews to some of my favorite movies in the 90s. Like all the other New Line Cinema shit, like the Mortal Kombat VHSs and all this stuff. 7, it was all over all of them.
Ironically enough, I've still never seen the original Lawnmower Man, and it's not good. Everything you're saying about this one is exactly what I was going to say about the first. Like I fucking, I'm thinking about the original. You're talking about the second Lawnmower Man 2.
The first, and I've seen the first one. I don't remember much about it besides the general plot.
I honestly can't believe they made Lawnmower Man 2.
But in Lawnmower Man, the movie it's nothing like the adaptation, the book where it came from, the short story.
Once people got to the theater, realized like this is nothing like the book is based on, and this is stupid. And then like we're like fucking good thing we won't do that again. And then they greenlit number 2. Like, did that do well?
Oh, you mean the first one? I don't know, but the first one's not good. But the second one, there's no way. You see this movie,
I can't imagine it. Yeah,
the first one is not good either. It's real boring. But at least it has the sheen of quality. You look at it, it's got fucking Remington Steele. What's his fucking name?
I don't know. I never watched it.
James Bond. Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan stars in it as the Doctor, and it's got a sheen of quality. Jeff Fahey plays Lawnmower Man, Job. But the movie's just boring. Like the concept's there. It looks like a big budget movie, but it's just not good. This movie looks cheap as fuck, and it's peak 90s. Like everybody was obsessed with this concept of virtual reality. And they spend a lot of time in virtual reality in this movie. Like all the kids are like flying through. It's like a giant green screen the whole movie, and it looks as bad as you think it would. But they're trying to pass it. But we're in cyberspace though. It's bad.
Mac is probably like completely lost. We're basically talking about what fucking our boy did when he ripped off. He made Arcade. That's the full moon version of the movie we're talking about. Or do you remember Lawnmower? You probably remember.
I remember Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower Man 2. They recast Job from Jeff Fahey, who plays in like Psycho 3, right?
Leahy? Did you say Mr. Leahy?
Fahey, Jeff Fahey. And then they recast him with Matt Frewer, who played Max Headroom, right? Back in the day. And he's in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, right? He's the neighbor. Super glue, that guy. He now plays Job. And by the way, I never noticed it before this movie, but now it all just makes so much sense when you think about Max Headroom. But in this movie, I'm like, oh my, it is fucking 2 minutes of him on screen. I'm like, he's fucking Jim Carrey. And I'm like, you close your eyes and you think it's Jim Carrey. Like he's acting like Ace Ventura. He sounds, his mannerisms, his cadence in his speech, everything is fucking Jim Carrey. And then of course,
God, I have to see this now.
I went down the rabbit hole of this, and everybody, and if you so much as Google Matt Frewer and put a space, the first thing that comes up is Jim Carrey. Like, shit. And I went down the rabbit hole, and they're like, yeah, it's like Jim Carrey clearly was influenced by Matt Furr and Max Headroom. It's like, because he's the same guy. Same fucking character, everything. It's like, what? He's not as wacky or zany, but it's all the mannerisms and the way he talks, and it's just, it blew me away. But the movie sucks, and it's lowest marks I could possibly give it. 0 stars. It's fucking terrible. And it's got the kid who was in a lot of shit in the 90s. It's that kid from Last Action Hero, My Girl 2. What else was
What
he
movie
in?
is this?
Lawnmower Man 2.
Lawnmower Man 2 Beyond Cyberspace. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Look at his face.
I'm searching
and
it.
He's like, where is it? I gotta find this
they
fucking
kind of
movie.
they kind of recap the first one. They recap the first one in one of those like flashback scenes at the start of the second one.
It looks like Hellraiser.
I was imagining you trying desperately to find it and buy it because, like, this sounds fucking.
It's on
terrible.
HBO Max. It's on HBO Max. Don't buy it, please. Just stream it. For
Why?
me.
I could add it to my fucking great collection. Right next to my Existence movie.
Is it Shout Factory that put out the first one? They didn't put out the second one though. But anyway, like they said, they recap the end of the first one really quick at the second one at the start of it. And it's just a shit little flashback. And for some reason, they put it in this weird aspect ratio. Like, I don't even know what it would be because it's just like a little square in the middle of my TV. Like, I have a 70-inch TV I was watching on, and it looked like it was in a fucking 12 by 12 square. I'm like, is the whole movie going to be like this? And it's really fucked up. And then when they kind of get through all the prologue stuff, it zooms out. I'm like, that is the most off-putting. I imagine everybody shuts this movie off after the first 5 minutes because they think it's not going to change. But then they do that thing where they got a different actor playing Job now, Matt Furr, and they just kind of explain it in a throwaway line. Okay, because they pull him out of a fire. Like, he has no limbs, apparently. Face reconstruction. Like a face-off thing. Okay, that'll explain why it's a completely different guy.
They did the same thing with Stepfather 3. It's kind of smart. Fucking, it's not the worst way to do it.
But how do they explain the act's completely different? Like, they're nothing is the same. Anyway, and last but not least, I just finished watching the movie we were talking about, Nobody, with Better Call Saul. It was, that was a me movie. I enjoyed it. That was my kind of movie. I like... Action movies don't have to have a lot of substance by nature. That's not what I look for them for. Do they do action well? This is 90 minutes of fast-paced, just bonkers fucking action sequences, really well executed in choreography, and not just lame. I like John Wick, but John Wick's nothing but bullets. Like, that's all he does, just bullet flying, and it's neat to watch. This is like got fisticuffs, it's got car chases, it's got fucking throwing out windows, broken glass, guns. I enjoyed it. I like it. High marks. Oh, and then I watched
Lawnmower Man 2, right? Is that what you're talking about?
No, yeah, everybody go watch Lawnmower Man.
Fucking action beyond belief. Fuck John Wick.
Oh,
Lawnmower Man 2.
I'm throwing the gauntlet down. My next choice for Cinema Enema might be Lawnmower Man 2. I might fucking make Zach have to suffer through it.
I want to do Existence.
I'd do it. It's fine.
I've never seen Lawnmower Man 1.
You don't need to. Zach, I just told you they recapped the first movie in the first. It's one of those movies. It's like Friday the 13th. They recap it. You don't need to know the first movie at all.
What if I end up loving it? This movie's amazing.
It's bad. You're going to be figuring out, but anything else you can do while watching it. You're going to be twiddling your thumbs. You're going to be on your phone. It's bad. Anyway.
You're just saying that.
Did anybody else watch the Batman? Because
amazing.
I won't talk too much about the Batman.
I need to go see it. I'm going to go see it, so don't say anything.
I won't even talk about story or spoilers. I liked it. I mean,
I want to sit 3 hours in a movie theater.
You know what? It's fine. It goes by. No, it goes by. It's engaging.
No, I'm not being sarcastic.
I didn't even realize it was that long till just
I
now.
want to see what will happen if I stay. How long was the Joker? That was like 2:30, right? What was it? 2:40?
That wasn't long at all. That was like an hour 30.
Joker?
No. Joker. I want to say most Batman movies are around the 2:20 mark. They always hover around that 2:20.
Joker was pretty long.
Let me see.
Pretty sure.
I swear to fucking God, Joker was like the hour's
Really?
length of a fucking.
No, I doubt it. I bet you it was
I
over
don't
2.
think so.
comedy.
Joker was 2 hours 2 minutes,
Okay.
which is pretty
Liar.
short I'm looking at it right now.
I don't
Liar.
believe anything you say.
You liar.
But all the Burton Batmans and shit like that were all like 2 hours 20. I think Batman. I'm pretty sure like the last Nolan one or something was probably the longest at like 2 hours and a half. But this is 3 hours. That's fucking long. And let me tell you, could they have cut stuff out? Absolutely. But it was still good. It's probably an 8 out of 10. But I think it's easy to make a good Batman movie because they're working off a property that just, all you have to do is look at what these other directors who did them successfully did and be like, okay, well, Nolan did this and it was successful, so I'll take a little bit of this. This guy did this, so I'll take a little bit of this. But neither one of them touched on this aspect, so that's what I'm going to do. I mean, in this one, they focus on, it's more like a movie like Seven or Chinatown. They never tackled Batman as the world's greatest detective. So this one's a total detective movie. It's like, the Riddler is like Zodiac.
It's like Gotham, pretty much, yeah.
It's Riddler is like a Zodiac killer. And yeah, he's using it's
a little darker.
It's like Chinatown or Seven and whatever, really. And it's a slow burn, not necessarily bad when I say that, but it's very slow. But the world they build is really good.
Are the Nolan movies like fucking not slow? Like to me, that was always the hardest fucking movie to get through, that first Nolan one.
I'd say Batman
I didn't
Begins.
like that one.
I like Batman. Batman
Garbage.
Begins is slow. Yeah, they all kind of have that vibe.
I'd probably just put the second one that he made there too, The Dark Knight.
But this one is, well, the thing about The Dark Knight is Batman's hardly in the damn movie. It feels like it's like he's really not. This movie is all about Robin Pattinson and Batman, but they don't do the fucking shit you don't want to see. They don't do the fucking backstory. They don't do the, oh my God, my parents got killed. And he's pretty much Batman the whole movie. You don't even see him as Bruce Wayne very much at all in the movie, which is great. So the way they did it's really refreshing. The detective aspect's really refreshing. The world building they do is great. The cast is good. The Penguin and everybody. They have a lot of characters in the movie when you think about it. It's more of a crime story, but everybody gets woven in. It doesn't feel cluttered.
I didn't know the Penguin was in it.
Yeah.
You just ruined it for me.
He's in every trailer.
You just spoiled it. No, he's not.
You know,
Colin Farrell? Yeah, he's in every fucking trailer. They got him in a fat suit.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Powell? They got him in a fucking fat suit and he looks disfigured and shit. But he's like he was in the comics that they've never done in a movie before. He's just a mafia guy. He's a mafia guy. And he's not the Riddler's the main bad guy, but everybody plays their part. It's really world building. So anyway, it's good. But that's all we got. So I guess we're going to take a break and then Zach, tell everybody what we're going to talk about.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk about Vivarium, something like that.
Yeah, Vivarium, whatever.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
We'll be back in just a second.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to Yonder, a wonderful development. It has all you'd need and all you'd want. Number 9. Number 9 is not a starter home. This house is forever.
Lee for a boy?
Do you have children?
No. It's not exactly what we're looking for.
That guy was so strange.
Yeah. Wait. No, I don't think this is the right way.
Yeah, this is the way we came in.
Number 9 again. Did we just do some kind of loop?
How have we just...
Want me to drive? Such a joke. Because I think this is not possible. We can't make turns like this over and over.
We have gone this way, Tom. Oh my God. Hello?
La 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 la.
What's happening? Maybe they'll let us go.
What if they don't come? What are we supposed to do? Should we just sit here and wait to die? It's a boy.
Give a little time for the child within you. Don't be afraid to be young and free. Run to the locks and throw away the keys and
All we wanted
run you.
was a home.
You are home.
You creepy little mutant.
And we're back. Okay, Zach, we're going to talk about Vivarium. This is a movie that he chose. He suggested we watch it. I did so. I guess, are you just going to... It's a fairly straightforward story. If you want to just kind of like go through the beats, if you want to do it like that. I will say it's just... I want to say it's a Twilight Zone movie stretched out to 90 minutes. But I guess most people would probably call it Black Mirror today. But
pretty much.
Potato. I have, you really quickly, if you watch shit like that, you kind of know where it's going to end up pretty early on, in my opinion. But anyway, talk about the story, Zach.
I will, just as soon as you capture this egg from my hand. When you capture the egg, I can't do that. You can't do that because most people listen to the audio and they're like, "Oh, we don't get these visual cues." See, I'm making the exclusive version for the YouTube. But yeah, basically, it's a very, it's a fucking, it's got the fucking
Jesse Eisenberg, Imogen Poots.
It does.
Imogen Poots, yeah.
The chick from Green Room, and
Eisenberg is so unlikable. Like I told Zach, I hadn't heard of the movie and he told me to watch it. I looked it up and as soon as I saw Jesse Eisenberg was in it, I'm like, oh, fuck me. I was like, all right. Because I hate him.
I forget he's there.
I don't know. Him super stressed out stresses me out.
Yeah. He plays
he plays the part. He plays the part.
Yeah.
It stressed me out just seeing his face.
Do you believe him being with Imogen Poots? Like he's such a, I don't know, like who would date that guy?
That girl that he's with, you think she's good looking?
I think she's pretty. She's a little, she's homely in that movie. Because
she's not anywhere near as like on the scale
hot as Jesse.
They're like on the same
she's
scale.
Not as hot as Jesse.
Yeah,
bro.
she's not as hot as Jesse.
Max getting all like,
no, I'm
like
saying like they're on the same scale.
Bro.
Like if anything, they're not really.
You think they're on the same scale? No.
Yeah, she's not anything better.
I think they made her look pretty homely in that movie because she's like a teacher or whatever, and then she's just like trapped in this house. Who knows if they're even really fucking showering, for God's sake? They're just becoming more and more stressed. They have no reason to look pretty.
I'd stick my finger in the poots. I've seen her in other movies where she looked better. I mean, but I'm not complaining. Anyway, continue. Zach, I had to say that. I'd stick my finger in the poots. I had to say that.
It's a weird name. I'd change it if I was becoming an actor. Poots. You poot in your pants.
Puss in Boots.
But yeah, it's a simple story. It really is just like a fucking Twilight Zone. In fact, I was thinking of a Twilight Zone episode while I was watching it. In the episode, you find out at the end, like this crazy town. They're like, "Oh, this town, everybody fucking, oh, it's so great, everything. Something's oddly off." And then at the end, fucking, they start. At one point, they're like, "Fucking, every once in a while it shakes. It's like an earthquake. So fucking, there's a big eye that comes." At the end, you find out like, oh, they're like they're in a dollhouse, and it's like the kid. Looking at it, that's what I was thinking watching this movie.
But you knew, I mean, even before I realized what a vivarium was, I had to Google the term. Like, oh, okay. But I realized they were in some sort of hub. It was going to be like you said, like a Twilight Zone twist where they were in some sort of like a vivarium. I guess is like it's like an aquarium or some sort of bubble used to study people, right? Whatever. Yeah. They're obviously
study animals
because you realize the first.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the that episode. Is it from Twilight Zone, Zach, or is that from the Friday the 13th where the guy he wants to quit smoking cigarettes and they put him in that room?
Oh yeah,
which one is that from?
I forget.
But then they're like, listen, like they're doing stuff to him and stuff, and like it's almost kind of like the episode. Well, no, it's not. But it's kind of like that episode where he's like, "I'll quit smoking," and they're watching him the whole time, and he's just stuck in there over and over.
It probably wasn't Twilight Zone because back in those days, smoking was healthy. They let your fucking 5-year-old smoke cigarettes. The president was pitching them.
Literally, the guy who was the crazy shadow figure guy who shows up and other people don't see him. He's like, "Good evening." He's literally smoking a cigarette. Like they didn't give a fuck. They were promoting the shit out of that.
Yeah. Well. So, but the first second you see when they enter this, I forgot what the little subdivision's called, but you see it, that you see the clouds are fake. Like this is not real. The sky's not real. It's very uncanny valley looking. It's like clearly they're in some kind of enclosure or whatever. And they never explain that, but
they're set up as like a new couple and like they're going to fucking check out this.
They want to move. They want to.
They want to find a new home. They got all the normal like fucking worries about fucking buying a home and like fucking oh, it's a big responsibility and all this shit. It's like fucking we gotta make sure like fucking keep it upkeep, all that shit, or you're throwing money down a hole. Fucking I don't know. I've never really wanted to buy a house myself, but maybe one day.
Yeah, just watching them when they were in there and fucking all like awkward about it. That's how I feel, like, because I don't have a house yet, and I just feel like just hearing everyone's stories about a house.
So basically, I'm bringing that up because like that's apparently what most people have decided the movie. Like, oh, when you like how because it's open to interpretation. Most people are kind of bringing up stuff like that. I wasn't getting that at all. I'll tell you what I was thinking when we're done. But like, yeah, so fucking they get to this this home. It's like fucking it's like fucking weird. Just endless village, almost gated community that is fucking of the houses that look exactly the same and fucking all this shit.
Well, I'm just saying, I think it's a little heavy-handed, but it's everything's cookie cutter, but everything's off. It's not quite human. It's like the colors are really bizarre. Everything looks really fake. The dirt's fake. The grass is fake. It's very it's like they're all living in that Alec Baldwin model in Beetlejuice or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Beetlejuice.
Exactly. And then fucking one day there's a fucking kid at first there's a guy who tells them like fucking like hell yeah, this is like fucking we're gonna give you all the things you want. You want a family, all that shit. Fucking they end up with the kid.
You're jumping ahead. You're jumping all over the place. It's very simple. So yeah, like you said, they go to this place that's selling homes, new builds or whatever. It's the guy that is selling the homes. He's pitching him this new community and he's weird as fuck. He's like uncanny valley, fucking weird. And he says, okay, follow me and I'll show you the homes. They're going fast. Great. They follow this guy. As soon as they get in the house, it's like he disappears and he's gone, right? I mean, not before being weird, right? He's following him in the house and he's like malfunctioning, doing his shit, like imitating her voice and shit like that. What did you think?
Yeah, and he's like sketching out. I was like,
when he first did that, I'm like, why are they not turning away now?
Yeah,
like I'm out of here. Like what?
This guy's kind of sketchy. Is he gonna kill them? What's
like? He literally adopted her voice. Is like So even the humans in this movie don't act supernatural to me. Like in real life, they don't. They just I don't know. But yeah, he disappears, and then they're like, hey, where'd the fucking guy go? And they come back, and there's a baby there. And it just says, like, there's a note left with the baby that simply says something like, you'll be set free once you raise the kid. Raise the kid and you'll be set free. And then
I don't even know if they'd said that. I think it was just some vague, like, oh, what you always wanted or something.
No. It says, if you want to be free, raise the kid. It says something like that. It's pretty on the nose.
Something poetic.
But it's
like, we didn't mean we'll set you free.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean that's kind of obvious, right? But it says that more or less, and it pretty much is a time jump. There's a time jump, and I guess they say it's like 90 days, and this kid's like fucking 7 years old or something. It's growing really fast. And they're just accepting it. They're just kind of like, what else can we do? I guess they're holding on to the idea that once it's raised, I don't know. But for a split second, and I'm glad they didn't do it. For a split second, I'm like, are they going to do the cabin fever Shining thing? I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. For a split second, but they get away from that. Jesse Eisenberg is wigging out. He hates the kid. He tries killing the kid, which is pretty rad.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
And she stops him and later regrets it, right? Because she's got this weird fucking bond with it. Like, because she's got a weird bond with it. She's almost still kind of like nurturing.
She's the one that started raising it. She started fucking nurturing it.
Yeah, nurturing it.
And he didn't care to do it, so he fucking let her do it.
He starts digging a hole.
He was helping.
He becomes obsessed with digging a hole.
Thinking that he can hear shit underground. And he could, though. He could hear shit. It's just he wasn't in the right spot.
Yeah.
Some weird fucking animal noise he hears.
The kid gets a little older. He starts watching TV, and it's like all fucking like poltergeist, and it's weird like fucking symbols and shit, alien shit. And he disappears one day. He comes back. He's got like books and shit. We kind of learn that it's almost like textbooks, and he's going every day to like school or whatever the fuck he's going. She tries to follow him, but fails. He gets older, and now he looks like a fucking Mormon, coming to your doorstep. He's like, a grown up now. And
As they all end up doing, these fucking kids are so cringe.
Yeah,
see,
but,
I think that's what this is ultimately about.
But
that scene where she's following, because I can get out of here if I follow him as he's leaving, and it basically does the video game logic. It's like going through the fucking Zelda fucking forest. You gotta go through. You gotta go down that quarter. You gotta go up and when I was watching that super high, I was like, fuck, that would be a nightmare. I was like stuck in that like idea, like fucking imagine actually but it's funny because this thing that they're showing us is like ultimately what we're striving to do. We're trying to get a house, we're trying to have kids, like, but it's like when you watch it, this is my interpretation of the movie. I'll just go ahead and say it right now.
It's possible that the aliens or whatever they are think they're totally doing them a solid. Hey, this is a win-win.
That's what I was thinking.
We're just a species trying to survive. And we're giving you what you want. We're giving you a house and a kid. And you're raising it. You're dying. We're just kind of expediting the process. Everybody wins.
Exactly.
Big surprise. I pretty much knew it was coming the second he started digging that hole. Jesse Eisenberg finds a skeleton. Could it be who was there before them? Yeah, it's really, really on the nose. And he gets sick. He starts getting sick. They don't ever explain what's making him sick. So
probably
it's
like the pesticides in the dirt or something.
Yeah, is it the fucking chemicals that whatever that dirt's made out of? Or is it just the lack of sunlight?
He's not getting sleep. He's been out digging and he's just getting sick.
No, because she gets sick. She suddenly kind of gets sick too for some reason, and it just kind of comes out of nowhere. But it doesn't matter. It's like, is it a lack of sunlight? Is it because he's not getting nutrients and they're in some aquarium? I mean, is it the food?
The proper nutrients.
Well, don't they have him on like a weird food too? Yeah.
He does say it. I think when he's first sick, he says
he's talking about shit.
Is the food poison? Is it food? But they don't really address it. But
the first time he eats a strawberry and he says there's no taste.
Yeah.
Which fucking it builds into my interpretation of the movie. We'll get to it. Let's fucking go ahead and spoil the movie so I can get to my interpretation.
We're getting there. So Jesse Eisenberg dies. The son's all grown up now. He just drags him and puts him in a fucking vacuum bag and throws him in the hole and starts digging it. Like, okay, which is weird because what are the odds that, okay, maybe everybody goes crazy and starts digging in the weird hole. When you can't find a way out, maybe we'll pretend. But you're telling me the last guy dug in the exact same spot? Same spot, and because
they both smoked the cigarette and fucking threw it out. You remember how he found where to dig on?
Yeah,
they smoked the cigarette, and threw it out, and then it fucking looked like claymation.
Yeah, it was really weird. But also,
it was fucking.
Why
weird.
would the whole time in the movie I'm thinking, okay, this guy, he wants to be alone. He's getting fucked. He doesn't want anything to do with that kid. He needs to be separate. Even the mom gets like that too. I'm like, I'd be going in the house across the street. Like, hey, whenever I want a time out from you, little fuck, I'm gonna go to the house across the street. You know, he didn't. I'm gonna go dig. I wouldn't just like stay in my house. I'd be like digging up other people's fucking lawns. I'd be like I said, you could go live in all these weird houses. I don't know, jacking off in their front yard.
What if it all leads to the same house? They walk in one and they're just in theirs, like a loop.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, so he dies, and then she tries to follow him again after he dies, and she hits him. She comes up behind him with, I think, the shovel or like the pick. It's the pick. And she comes up behind him and hits him. And he goes, ah! And he fucking like runs away. And he like slips underground. Like he
that's where he pulls up the curb of the street.
He pulls up the curb.
There's a secret world underneath it. He goes under.
But it's everything. It's just like, and she follows him, and it's just stacked. It's like layers.
And they're literally in the Bill and Ted hell from Bill and
Ted. Yeah, and in each level of this hell is another family going through the same thing. And you see a guy
just like our neighbors. They're fucking in the houses that are right next door to us, but we don't see what they're going through inside the house.
The dad has slit his wrist in the bathtub in one house. It's it's the same shit. And every time she falls to a different layer, it's a different color scheme, which, I read after that the director just did that to make it look fucking different and not fucking confusing. It's
Bill and Ted. He liked Bill and Ted.
Same shit. And she ends up just looping back to her house. Okay, whatever logic. And she dies.
I want to mention too that scene where Jesse Eisenberg dies. You remember how he died? Like fucking just the weird. Like I couldn't tell if this movie is a black comedy or if it's just super serious.
How did he die again? What happened?
Fucking he went on he was smoking a cigarette. Oh man, I never thought I'd see the like it was just like one of those like movie moments. And it was another thing that made me like, it fed into my fucking, the way I interpreted the movie. It just, fucking the way he died, it seems so unnatural and shit. Like fucking a movie almost.
I think when she came back from doing the Bill and Ted thing and she fell back into her own layer or whatever, I think that's when she was sick. I don't think I noticed her sick before that. But when she comes back, I think she's all sick and stuff, and she's too weak to really fight the kid because the kid's just like wrapping her up, and she has one last line.
Yeah,
before they have they have that cheesy line like, "But mommy, you are home." Like that's just
the way the kid talks.
I'm not your fucking mother, and then she just zips her up.
The way the kid talks is so fucking goofy, and see, I didn't know if that was on purpose or if that was.
It's like a Fulci. It's like a Fulci movie. They got a grown man like a grown woman doing the voice of this kid overdubbed.
I literally thought they were just trying to like subconsciously make the point like kids are fucking annoying. Don't you hate them? Don't you hate like you're on a plane and you hear and you just like.
Hey, that's funny. Speaking of that, did you get that from? I Think You Should Leave. When he's like, sure. It's me, remember 30 years ago? He's the fucking at the sir, this isn't your seat. You gotta go to the very back of the plane. And he's just up there fucking listening to his music while he's back there screaming like a baby.
What was that skit? Was there like a fucking baby beauty pageant or something? What am I thinking?
Oh, yeah, no, the little kids. Yeah, the little baby builders or whatever. Bodybuilders. And they all have fake bodies and they're like, these aren't real. It's like they're strangely mad about that instead of like him actually using kids to do that.
Yeah.
Like these aren't. Rate them. Go ahead. What would you think?
Yeah. It was really weird. But
before that though, kind of more in the middle of the movie, we talked to. We didn't even mention the part.
She gets information from that kid when she's because the kid is still learning. He's going to the school every day when he's like young. He's still like 10. He's not completely sold yet because he's still getting formed. And she's like, let's play pretend. Let's play imitation. The guy you saw.
Well, here they're making the point that kids are sponges and they learn from their parents. So when she notices that he's mimicking a voice that she's never heard before, she's like, fucking. He's seen somebody else, so she tries to just ask him, and he's basically he gives her like some weird answer, like it's against his protocol, basically. There's something non-human about him, so it's just like fucking I can't tell you. And so she tried to find a way around it by fucking playing a game with him, like fucking.
Let's play imitation. Can you imitate mommy? And he does. Can you imitate daddy? Who did you talk today? Could you imitate them? And he's like, and little fucking frog shit comes out of his neck.
His nose like fucking expands like it's got a dick in it or something, like fucking.
No, it's like his nose. Yeah, his nodes. Like it's like almost like a bullfrog.
You know who the kid reminds me of too, and it makes me cringe so bad.
All kids.
No, he reminds me of fucking Glenn from fucking Chucky.
Oh. The way he talks,
yeah, shit like that, and the way he looks and everything. It just and he looks just like the kid that plays at the end of Seed of Chucky. That's Glenn.
Yeah, and the British
cringe.
It reeks of. I mean, it's not a bad thing at all, but you can tell it's an indie movie that they had to film in Europe, but they wanted to get an American lead in it. So Jesse Eisenberg is the only guy with an American accent, except for like
Jesse Eisenberg.
Except for a random coworker at the beginning. She's also American for some reason, and it confuses you for a second.
I didn't notice that. Aaron.
I didn't notice that either.
Way too cool.
But they just do this whole thing like, oh, okay, he just is in England for whatever reason. Yeah, they do that shit. Anyway, regardless, the movie ends. The mother dies. I'm not your fucking mother. She zips it up, throws her in the hole. He puts the dirt back in. He fucking steals their car and goes to work. And we find the original home seller guy. And he's like dying. He's like old because they age super fast. And he basically retires him. And he folds him up like he's made of paper. And like puts a receipt on it and throws him down like a chute. And he just takes over. And he literally just takes his name tag.
Well, no, you forgot. You forgot when they do follow him and she goes into that fucking weird world.
No, we just talked about that for 5 minutes straight. We just talked about that for 5 minutes. I know you know.
I had to say that.
Okay, but we talked about it a lot. Anyway, and the color, the different Bill and Ted shit. Anyway, and then of course it ends like a lot of movies do, and a lot of fucking shit like Tales from the Crypt and all those anthology horror shows. Where the cycle repeats itself. A new family comes in. Hello. They all kind of end like that, right? I don't know, but
I honestly thought that they were gonna live, or like whenever they found that when they saw him go into the road, like I thought she was gonna figure it all out and fucking survive.
Well, I wonder.
You thought wrong, bitch.
I kind of want to see it that way. That's
I
how
wonder if, in theory, it is like the Lost Woods in Zelda, and there really is a fucking pattern that you can make it out, because they don't explain what it is. I guess the title Vivarium makes it seem like it's a physical enclosure, but it also seems like it's invisible. Like maybe they went through some kind of rip and it's invisible to the naked eye.
I assume that's what it is. He's got to go in a certain way, fucking up, down, left, right, shit.
Yeah, shit like that. But they don't go into that. I think the movie. I mean, honestly, Zach, did this movie went exactly where you knew it was going to go, right? I mean, I
had no fucking clue what it was. I didn't know what this movie was about. I just heard, I just landed on it, started watching.
But when you first saw, okay, so when they go to the house place and they see the guy and he's acting all weird, okay, maybe not yet, but when they take him, when he's showing them around the house, yeah, it's like when he first did the voice thing, like, like I'm like, all right, at least I kind of,
I'm out.
This is like a fucking Tales from the Dark Side or whatever.
That doesn't mean anything. You know,
at first I thought they were robots. I didn't think they were aliens.
You're basically saying this is basically like a Twilight Zone episode. It's like, yeah, but every episode is different, and they all have different stories and end a different way.
But I think by the time he gives him the baby, which is very early in the movie, I thought it was all written out. It's like, okay, raise this kid. And the kid in the next scene, he's literally doing the same shit where he's got the same weird voice and he's imitating. I'm like, they're just...
Of course you haven't figured out there. They gave him the kid. It's like, oh... No,
that's fucking 15. That's 10 minutes in the movie. You know exactly how it's going to end. And it starts writing itself and you write it for it. Like, and he starts digging the hole. I'm like, oh God, he's digging his own grave.
They're making the point that, like, fucking, this is what we're all trying to do. Isn't this stupid?
I thought...
Isn't it fucking dumb?
A critique of the movie, too. They should have just started the movie with them entering the real estate office. What is with the shit? There was no setup. Why do we have to show her at school? Why do we have to show Jesse Eisenberg in a tree? You know,
and literally that sets up the fucking another meaning. Fucking she sees the birds
the bird.
The birds. They're throwing the eggs out of their nest, and the little kid's like, "Why'd they throw that bird out?" And it's like, she says something about nature's not always pretty or something. She's like, "I don't like that." And me neither.
I thought that was too pretentious. I'm like, we don't need that because it never.
What a puss!
It doesn't really come back. I get it. They're trying to like paint the theme, but they could have still put a bird in there without that entire scene of her in the school and shit. Because we never get any of that again. They should have started the movie because
that actually it does come back because the bird that the fucking they use in the movie and it's fucking they actually got the idea for the movie from a documentary they watch about these birds who fucking take their eggs, drop them in another bird's nest, and trick them into raising their kid. So I think,
exactly what I said. Pretentious. Like, okay, like, great. It wasn't.
How was that pretentious?
It wasn't needed. It wasn't needed. It wasn't needed.
That's how you do something. You don't tell them exactly what it means. You let them make their own interpretation. Why is that pretentious? That's genius.
I think they could have did that without all the fluff. I think more or less they should have started with them entering. Because they give you no backstory other than that. They show her at school, they show him, and it is kind of weird and jarring till we're all of a sudden the next scene they're looking for a house. Like, oh,
their backstory is our backstory because we're all there.
Yeah, they've been together for a while. They're ready to take that next step, baby.
Anyway, I should have started at the fucking real estate office. That's all I'm saying, and it would have been fine. But it was fine. I didn't love it. I thought it was a 6, maybe. It was all right.
My interpretation, fucking. I don't know when. Basically, towards the middle of the movie, I got it in my head that like basically this is fucking these are aliens, and they're basically like you know how like we do this shit where we're like studying biology and shit. We have like amoeba in a little glass thing. We're looking at it, we're giving it like stimulus, and we're like, oh, we're looking through the thing, and like, oh, it's lighting up, it's happy, and it's like I thought. Whatever is like fucking watching us is like doing that
like
now.
Fucking Goosebumps, ants, the ants one.
And basically they're fucking like, oh, we know for fucking like years, decades of fucking like movies and shit that this is what you guys want. Like that scene where Jesse Eisenberg's smoking a cigarette and he's dying. It like, are they trying to make me think of like classic like 50s style Hollywood movies. Like,
I think you're giving it too much credit. You're giving it way too much credit.
He's going into it because he's super high.
I don't know.
He's like, this is a fucking 10 out of 10. Actually, I changed my mind. 10
Does
out
it
of fucking
literally
10.
matter? Does it literally matter if fucking that's what I was thinking watching?
I was watching. I read an interview after this is why I think you're giving it way too much credit. And I think people unpack movies and give way too much credit and integrity.
I'm fine giving way too much credit to movies
because I read an interview with the director and co-writer, and he barely could answer any questions about his own movie. He wrote it with another guy. He's like, I really don't remember. He's like, I think it pays off. I don't know. And he's like, why'd you do that? I did this because it looked better. Like what? Like none of this shit had any real like in-depth
meaning.
Yeah, it's like, and there's a big filmmaker. I can't remember. I was reading it a few days ago where I can't remember it. It's a movie that people fucking love, and it is great. And
maybe that's kind of like us when we fucking make movies, though. We'll just fucking sometimes we just say, let's just fucking record this, and then it just comes out being a masterpiece, which is everything we record.
Yeah, but I remember this particular filmmaker. I don't know why I can't remember it. He was totally owning up to it. Like, man, that was a fluke. It's like, no, I was like, I know people say this and that, but it was just because that's what we had to do that particular day. And and that's great. But I just think people love to fucking just, I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, it reminds me of Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. Like, oh, his lyrics don't make any sense. It must be art. Like, no, I think sometimes his lyrics just didn't make sense. Sometimes
making music is art in itself. Fucking, of course it's art. Fucking, you create something out of nothing.
Regardless, Mac, what did you think of the movie?
Oh shit! I got invaded, guys. Oh no, I thought it was good. I was stressed. Fucking, it had my anxiety up. Fucking, just the part where she follows them and then comes back, and it's just like, what was the point of that really? Because like she didn't get anywhere. So that, and then him digging the hole pissed me off. So I don't know. I still thought it was good. I'll say a 6.8.
Okay, so I'll just reiterate. I thought the movie was a 6 out of 10. It was good. I enjoyed it enough, but I'm like,
we lost Mac. We lost Mac.
We lost Mac. Oh yeah, we're gonna
have to point it out.
Oh yeah, we lost Mac. He was telling us his opinion of the movie, and then he froze for like a minute, and then he dropped off.
He did give us a kind of a rating though. He said it was like fucking. I thought it was decent.
That was it. And I thought it was a 6 out of 10, which is decent. But I didn't think it was anything special. But
I was fucking enthralled with this movie. I had no idea what it was.
I will say there's a lot of movies that suffer from this, that try and do this type of thing, but it would have been a much better short. This could have been 45 minutes long.
It's possible watching it again that I will, because I've seen a lot of people say like, oh, it was a little too short, a little too slow moving, the pacing. But then like, I've looked, I've noticed that like, maybe it was, but like, I swear while I was watching it, maybe it was just like a perfect combination of I had my phone right there and I could grab it and just look at a message and I didn't notice that it was slow.
Oh, look who's back.
Back again.
Do you want to finich your thought? Because you were telling us what you thought.
Where did I leave off? Because I fucking...
You're like, I thought it was pretty decent. And then you froze. And you were gone.
Other than the part where, she followed them, I thought she was going to pull through, but it threw me off. But, I mean...
You like the happy endings.
With his anxiety, though, that fucking... That got me. I was stressed. And, it was decent. Other than that fucking kid, yeah. I give it a 6.8.
There definitely was a message. Maybe one of the guys can't communicate it well, but like fucking, there was at least the little like fucking the whole mortgage crisis, the housing stuff, and like like that stuff was in there definitely. But like the shit I was saying, that's what you're saying is probably fucking just me being too philosophical.
I mean, I'll give it to you. I don't know what other reason why they wouldn't turn back as soon as he started tweaking out in the house. Like maybe the market's that tough and the price was just too good. I'm like, okay, well, I know this guy's getting off some alien vibes, but
I watched this as like a dark comedy, like fucking. Oh yeah, I like movies that fucking kind of tell you that or tell us that like the American dream is kind of stupid if you look at it really, like fucking. But like, hopefully it works out for us though. Fucking.
Yeah, I got some meaning out of it too, like him fucking working every day. Fucking, it made me think like us in jobs. Fucking we get up early morning, fucking try to
Steve Jobs.
You work
try to
yourself
fucking bust our ass to fucking death, work ourselves to death, pretty much.
for a kid you hate that won't give you a second of privacy.
Yeah, it's real life.
And he gets
It's a real life crisis.
and he gets the little bit of enjoyment he has in his life out of the most mundane activity, like digging a hole, like wherever he can get some peace and quiet. I don't.
You try to stick a finger in your poots, and fucking he shows up and makes his fucking throat expand, and now we can't have sex because he's like mad, I guess.
Mac, I was telling him that my biggest critique is just the fact that, it was trying to do like the Tales from the Dark Side or fucking Twilight Zone thing, but it didn't. It still would have been better as 45 minutes. Like they stretched out essentially a short. Like this didn't need to be 90 minutes.
Yeah, some of those parts where they kept running around got a little what would you say?
And it should have been a short. They took essentially a script that was like 45 pages long and they just milked it and they stretched it out without even adding anything different. So
I kind of got pissed every time it would show him digging too. That I was like, I don't want to watch this part.
I would have liked it better if it was like an episode of something like Black Mirror or whatever, and it was 45 minutes. Like, okay,
of them digging.
Oh yeah,
it would
kind of like Ryan Reynolds in the coffin.
Bury me.
I didn't see that movie. Is that movie called
I can't remember.
Buried or Buried Alive or something?
It's kind of stressful too. Fucking.
I bet. But yeah, I don't know. It was a 6 out of 10 for me. And by the way, I have to disagree with you guys. I got to tell everybody, you should. If you're in a place to get a house, I would say buy a fucking house. Maybe don't have one built because that's stressful as fuck. But buy a house because, dude, rent is just ridiculous.
Why do realtors always fucking pop up saying rent? Don't buy a house, rent. I'm always seeing that.
Nobody says that. Who says that?
That's what I'm seeing.
Rent? No. Why would realtors say that?
Less cost on fixing shit because they gotta fix it.
They're gonna make a lot of money that way. Realtors want to sell houses. You know what I mean? That makes no sense.
I've heard good arguments on both sides actually.
No, it doesn't. Renting has its place because some people, when you're building your credit, you're trying to save for a house. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm one of those guys that like fucking, you just can't keep me down, man. Fucking, I can't see myself always being in one spot. I got to go where the wind takes me.
But you can't, I used to feel like that too, but you could feel like
it's
that.
It's completely not true at all.
But you could feel like that. Hometown. No, the way you should look at owning a house is, it's hard enough for people to get a house right now because the market's insanely expensive. But if anything, you should think of it as a safety net. Like, I don't think of it as something that's holding me down. At first, I used to think that, like, oh, God, just the thought of owning a house, it seems so cumbersome and the stress. But no, like, for example, you don't have to worry as much about losing your fucking job because your house can work for you. Well, fuck, man, if I really need to do it, I'll rent out the rooms in my house. I'll fucking make the income that way. I'll pay the mortgage that way. Whereas a landlord's just going to kick you the fuck out. An apartment's going to kick you the fuck out. Like, you can't sublet. You're not allowed to anyway.
I would literally suck cock before I fucking rented out a room in my house.
You have sucked cock? I believe it. But anyway.
Literally.
And also, it's like equity, man. It's like, as soon as I moved into this house, I had about 80 grand in equity. So if dire straits happen, or if you want to go with the wind and you want to go wherever else, just sell your house and
sell your car, dude.
Make a huge profit. I mean, it's just, the problem is people can't get into them right now. It's absolutely, the market is overpriced. Wages are not competitive with the cost of housing. So it's getting harder and harder and harder. And a lot of people are just getting into that whole, I found a really cool meme today where it was like the Titanic meme and it showed him dancing, right? And Jack's like, Rose is like, I'm unemployed. Then it shows Jack, and I live with my mother. And then it shows Rose, let's make babies. Yay. A lot of people sort of do life out of order, and it gets harder to save up for a house. But anyway.
I saw like an article recently that like fucking, there's like 50 cities in America where like fucking, the average cost to buy a home is $1 million or something like that.
All right, maybe in really expensive cities, maybe. I mean, like,
that sounds like hell world to me.
My house, real market value, because there's the like city assessment value, which is what like the city would deem your house is worth, and then there's the actual fair market value or whatever, which is what the market's saying. Like, I'd say my house is like, it's like a $300,000 house, but my house is worth about $450 on this market. Bullshit. I would never pay $450 for my house. But if I sold it tomorrow, I'd be getting a big fat check of probably $200,000. You know, regardless, it's always about what the market says. But that's how people make money, man. People make money. They
fucking endless dick measuring contest. I want out.
No, it's no, but I'm saying like if you can get into the game, people will take out like an equity loan. Like if somebody has $200,000 in equity, like I said, you could literally buy a house at a certain price, and by the time you move in, the market all of a sudden says it's worth another $100,000. You could take out a loan of the equity, $100,000, and you could buy 2 smaller properties, put down 20%, and then rent them out. And then that's how people become slumlords, and they have all these properties and shit like that. Anyway, it's just a game. It's just a game people play, you know. And you know, a lot of times, fucking rich fucks stay rich because their dads fucking give their kids fucking money to start, right? They give them jump start money. Like, here's son, we're going to buy your first house. You know how many people in this city, because there's some rich parts of the city. A lot of people, I see them all the time, 20, 21 years old. They're having their first house built and their daddy paid for it, right? They're already winning because just that jump start. Well, now they have equity. Now, if they're smart, they just have to take that and fucking use the equity to open more properties or whatever and play Monopoly, play the game of Monopoly. But the hardest part that people struggle with is getting to that first step that some people kind of get handed to them, because it's really hard in the current economy and with the way wages are and the way the job market is to save up enough money to get a house and have the credit to get a house. It's just fucking hard getting that first step. That's it. Okay, anyway, we talked about the movie Vivarium and we talked about housing. They're very entertaining. Johnny brought mercy. That.
Hey, pretty mama.
Yeah.
Hey, pretty baby, would you give me a side?
You want to talk about cancel culture? Why didn't they ever cancel that show? I think that'd be worse than the Skunks.
That show's not on. That show's not on.
I'm just saying. They kept going back to other people and trying to
Cartoon
cancel
Network
them.
canceled that show.
They don't have to be on. They'd cancel anyone.
Why? Because he was like hitting on chicks that didn't want it?
Yeah.
Is that why? Johnny Bravo. It's funny. Anyway, that's all we got. So I don't know what I'm going to choose next as far as the movie to do. Mac, if you ever want to do an episode with us, you can choose a movie. You can make us watch whatever you want. It's a fun power to have, and we have to do it. So I'm thinking about making you suffer and watching Lawnmower Man 2. And really telling, you like to give movies more credit. I can't wait to see what you come out with Lawnmower Man 2 and what they really meant by this artistic choice and this artistic choice.
Mac, we should get super danked and watch fucking Lawnmower Man 2.
Yeah.
Come up with all the Kino pill shit, all the A24 vibes.
Wait, should we watch it for the first time on here?
That would be funny. Maybe we should.
I don't want to watch that movie.
It's on HBO if you decide.
For the first time?
It's not good. It's really, really, really bad, but it's so grossly 90s. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll let you guys know what the next episode of Enema will be.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon
M&M.
M&Ms. Yeah. If you guys want early access, we have a Patreon. Buy a shirt. Help us out. Check out all the other shit we got going on. Got commentaries, Mac and Zach, Save the World. We got BTM. Just
Mac's trying to get a sponsorship.
Who's sponsoring us? What is that?
Ghost.
I don't know what that is.
Check out the
That
Ghost
Game
Sour Patch Blue Raspberry. Ghost. Fucking energy drink. 0 calories, 0 sugar. This is the stuff.
It's going to kill you, though.
GNC, fucking Walmart. Just try it out.
It's going to kill you.
Thanks for the ad, guys.
How many energy drinks do you drink a day?
Well, I was drinking my coffee, and then I had opened this.
Hey, Ron, didn't you watch the movie we already watched? We're all going to die. Well, we might as well speed up the process.
Right now, I feel like the Flash.
Dude, I knew a guy, he got to a point where he was drinking 4 a day for like a couple of years, and he had a heart attack at the age of like 27.
Well, when I was at Subaru, I was drinking 3 a day, and it was fucking, if I didn't drink that many or more, if I stopped, I got a fucking migraine. I would get a migraine for like days.
Yeah, you become dependent on it, and then when you give it up,
it sucks.
You have withdrawals. You legit have.
Dude, I was so bad with it that I have fucking caffeine vape pens.
I've told
you know what this sounds like? It sounds like the labor market is really exploiting the workers. Fucking, we need communism. We need it.
We need to relax.
Really quick
this guy here.
about the caffeine stuff. Yeah, I used to I would go in cycles. I love Monsters. I haven't had them in years, but I used to drink the sugar-free Monsters. Like Max got a sugar-free thing. I'm like, cool, no calories. Oh, they taste great. It tastes like soda. And I never really put it together. Like, man, they taste like soda. They have that bite like soda. They're carbonated. But why do I enjoy it more than soda? But I used to just treat myself. Like I was in school at the time and I'd work on the weekends. And I'm like, you know what? It'll just be a weekend thing. Saturday. On my drive to work on Saturday, it's a 45-minute commute. I'll have a frosty fucking citrus sunrise orange fucking Monster. And I just liked the what is it called? Ritual of driving to work on the highway, listening to a great album and enjoying my fucking beverage. And
Bro,
then
it's not that big of a deal, dude.
No. listen. But then it would turn into, okay, it's just a weekend thing. So I'd have one on Saturday and
that's kind of
Sunday.
like when you're gonna game and you're like, I gotta buy a fucking 12-pack of fucking Code Red.
Saturday and Sunday.
Game Fuel.
And then,
fucking.
Before I know it, it became one a day. And I still think most adults could probably drink one a day and be fine. But it doesn't stop there. And then eventually, like at Mac, you become a dependent on it. Like I said, you start feeling like you need it and your head might even hurt if you don't have it. And then it becomes 2 a day. And that's, I think, the most I've ever gone is like when I'm drinking 2 a day, I'm like jittery and I have those withdrawals. And then I just would have to quit cold turkey. And whenever I'd have to quit cold turkey, for 3 weeks, I'd have withdrawals. I'd be sick. I'd be nauseous. I'd have bad headaches. I'd want to vomit. And then I'd be cleansed.
That sounded like a song lyric.
But then give it like 6 months to a year and I would start again. I'd be like, okay, 1 a week. I can dip back in. And it would just always repeat itself. And I just had to fucking...
I can't imagine.
I just had to fucking stop. And I haven't had... 5 years. I quit just fucking 5 years ago. I'm like, I can't do this because I got so sick.
When I was working at a factory, I started drinking fucking energy drinks. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, and you don't realize how it's making you feel until you start taking it out of your diet, right? It's like, oh shit, I forgot I used to feel like not having that feeling, like not jittery in my heart, and just I just
that's why I just try to like just buy water and just keep drinking that.
Yeah, and maybe that
I don't like buying pop because if I buy pop, I have to drink it all like within like.
I had
right then and there.
And I do miss it sometimes every night because I'll go to the store and I'll see like Monster has like all these new flavors of sugar free.
Yeah, it
like
sucks.
Shit. The last time I had one, they just introduced the grape sugar free, and I was all about it, man. And that's when I fucking stopped because I was drinking them all the fucking time. And
well, see, I didn't even care for like the sugar free shit. Like I couldn't do it. I was like, this tastes like shit, like Bangs. I fucking hated them. I was like, this doesn't taste like cotton candy. But then when it came to like being like sleep deprived, I fucking just forced myself to enjoy them, and then you finally get that taste, and then it just now it's like it tastes normal. I don't know, it's weird.
Welcome to the brand new review fucking podcast where we talk about energy drinks and fucking other assorted dankage.
Bang, fucking Ghost, hook us up.
You guys try that new Bangs flavor?
Hook us up.
You guys try that new Bangs flavor?
Fucking Ghost Philosophy.
Dude, it's so good.
Fucking look us up.
I fucking I scarfed down like 8 of them in a row, and I fucking beat
the dank coast to coast.
I beat Doom on the hardest difficulty right there, bro. Like I actually had a
just because of that fucking Bang.
I had a prescription to Adderall. I fucking told my doctor take it back, man. Bangs.
I got Bang and Ghost.
Bangs is all I need.
Fucking.
And I had quit energy drinks before Bang came on the market. I had quit like a year. I'd already been like free, and then I remember, and I saw Bangs at the store. I'm like, oh god, I was jonesing a little bit.
I fucking hate Red Bull because they fucking always come out with a fucking new flavor.
I'm telling you, sugar-free Monsters. When they first came out, it was the Fresca one, the white can. It just tastes like Fresca. Grapefruit or whatever, and I love that one. Then,
see, I don't like the cans. Throw me off.
I feel like nobody's entertained by what we're talking about right now.
The sugar free should bring me to them.
We really are getting off topic on Enema, but I don't care.
I don't like looking at the sugar free monsters. Their cans suck. I want to see fucking cool cans. No, if you show me a cool can, I will drink it.
I like the classy minimalist of the Monster sugar-free cans. But when they first came out, it was just the white one, which was like Fresca. They had the blue one, which was kind of like a blue raspberry, I guess. And they had the red one, which was Code Red.
See, look, it's so bad now that they have to make the cans even better now. They have to bevel them. They have to have like
we're getting into the fucking graphic design fucking dude on the cans.
That's how fucking baked I am.
Okay, all right.
And Aaron must
Yeah.
be baked too, because he's falling right into it. I'm still recording. I got that.
I'm literally the one sitting here like, why aren't we moving on? Wait, did we end the episode already?
Yeah, we're ending it. Yeah, we were
I
trying to
didn't
say
end my
goodbye.
stuff.
I was
I didn't end
promoting
my
it,
stuff.
then we got away on that. Yeah, like literally we were ending it. But anyway, okay, we ended it. Buy a shirt, support us, like the video, all that good shit. Buy a monster, fucking support us. Can we get? I would love it. I would love it if we got advertisements by Monster, but I'm saying don't drink it. You can't drink responsibly because you get addicted to it. That's the moral of the story. You can't just drink. I think one a day's fine, but you can't.
I think you need it though. So
that gets you.
Hook us up, Bang and Ghost.
If you're gonna get the caffeine fix, do 5 Hour Energy. You know why? Because those don't taste
Fuck
good.
those. Those are dumb.
Because they don't taste good, and you get over in a shot, but you still get your fix. So it's like you're
No,
not
you
going to drink
don't.
too much of those.
I don't get my fix from those.
But it did get to a point where I had to have a 5 Hour Energy before a workout because I was drinking. So don't do those. I take it back. It's all fucking bad. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Bye bye, pup.
Revival house. Oh, I need no. That sounds like fire. Like this country used to.